Welcome back. We have talked quite a bit about the midterms on this show, and at this point now, all eyes are on Georgia, a critical runoff between incumbent Democratic Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker. It's a couple of weeks away. Let's break it down with, from Georgia State University, Assistant Professor of Law Anthony Michael Kreis, up late with me on the Final Five. Welcome back.
Glad to be back.
Okay. First of all, let's break this down. You have to get 50% plus one vote or you go to a runoff. Why is that the rule in Georgia and pretty much nowhere else?
Well, for a long time in Georgia, Georgia was a one-party state, and the Democratic Party ran the state. And the way that elections essentially worked were that they were decided in the primary season, and they were decided in a way under state law that was essentially like an electoral college system that gave rural voters outsized influence. And the Supreme Court in the early 60s struck that down. And there was concern from some Democratic leaders at the time that if a contingent of Black voters came together and supported one candidate, that a plurality might be enough to get those favored candidates into office. And so the runoff system was initially devised as a primary tool to essentially keep the Democratic Party in the hands of the powers that be. Eventually, it became a requirement for both the primary and the general election, and we've had that system ever since the late 1960s.
All right. So that said, we have this runoff. I was down in Georgia a couple of weeks ago. I mean, you were at the point where you had Senator Warnock running ads saying, you don't want to see me at Thanksgiving, so vote for me now. Unfortunately, it looks like they're going to see both him and Herschel Walker. Have you already started seeing that phase of the campaign underway?
Absolutely. So anybody who was watching the Georgia game this Saturday would have seen a whole new set of campaign ads that were geared specifically for the runoff. And so I think there's really been an advertisement blitz that's begun. We've seen the candidates get on the road again. There's a whole new set of issues with voting access and whether or not Saturday voting and the early voting process for the runoff will be allowed, which is a new issue that's coming out. Right. So you see a kind of pivot to a new some new issues and to I think a new tenor where the character of each candidate has become more central than, say, control of the Senate, now that that's been decided with the Arizona and the Nevada races breaking in favor of the Democrats.
Yeah, over the weekend, you had some people and some influential people at that saying, well, hey, Georgia doesn't matter anymore. But it technically, at the very least, it's going to be, if Walker wins, it's 50-50. You have the tie-breaking vote. If Warnock wins, it's 51-49. And that one vote makes a lot of difference when you can take the vice president out of the equation.
Right. And of course, there's a few things to be considered here. For Georgians, we have constituent services. And so millions of Georgians will have a choice of who they want to lead those constituent services. But for a practical matter in the Senate, yes, it would make it much easier for the Democrats to run the show, to get judicial appointments through, and with 51 votes than just having 50. And of course, it changes the policy debates in terms of whether Senator Sinema or Senator Manchin have as much outsized influence as they do. And then, of course, the last thing I think to consider is what the 2024 map looks like, because you have Montana, West Virginia, and Ohio, all Democrats from those states up for re-election. Those may very well be tough battles for the Democrats, and having a one additional seat cushion would certainly be helpful going into the 2024 elections.
There was a third-party candidate in this race by the name of Chase Oliver, who was a libertarian. I think he got about 2% of the vote or so. I mean, based on what you've seen politically, like because granted, not everybody who voted last week, they're going to show up in the runoff, but like, where would those voters go theoretically?
Well, they may not come out at all, and that's one big question, right? Are those voters motivated at all? Certainly some will be. And if you see the kind of posture that the Libertarian candidate took afterwards in not endorsing either candidate, but raising questions about what Herschel Walker's position is on the Second Amendment, or some asking Reverend Warnock what some of his positions are on matters that are particularly close to libertarians' hearts. And I don't think you're going to see a lot of engagement there. And so those voters may not be particularly encouraged to come out again, because the two candidates are not really going to speak to them. But maybe they will. It really remains to be seen. But of course, it would make sense if we saw the candidates gesture at least to those voters and attempt to persuade them to vote for them and to come out in the December runoff.
All right, last question I have for you, because this is the second time in 2 years where we've had a runoff. The game has changed a little bit because you're going to have this runoff happen a full month earlier. You only have one Senate seat up instead of two. But if you're a Georgia voter, are you enjoying the extra attention, or do you kind of want to shy away from the national spotlight here and focus on the fact that this is a statewide race, not a national race?
Well, I think voters are very tired. If you ask folks, I've been joking with people that I get more texts from Reverend Warnock than anybody else, right? And that's just the way it's been in Georgia for many years for all of us. And the question is does that suppress or depress voter turnout? And that's a real big question, I think. Yeah. But certainly, Georgians, I think we enjoy having a competitive environment. It certainly makes things more exciting down here. But I do think that the tenor of the race actually will change because Senate control isn't on the line. And so while it'll be the focus of national attention for some time, whether or not the race here is actually nationalized in the same way is an open question that we'll have to see play out in the next few weeks.
He is Anthony Michael Kreis. Thank you so much, sir. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
And the Final Five is back right after this.